Late, but so what? Okay, 15 minutes late. Oh boy. Right. Yeah. So is everyone able to do it? Any questions? Any doubts? Arunabji, are you able to expel any phlegm?
Not yet.
Not yet. So
No.
maybe your father doesn't have any phlegm issues. Maybe you don't have any phlegm issues either.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe. No.
Okay.
Addy, what about you? Are you able to throw out some more phlegm? Yesterday you were throwing out some. Is it happening today as well? Okay, great, very good. So the more you are able to cleanse, the more phlegm you're able to throw out of your system, the better will be your breath. If you are breathing better, it will impact everything that you do. Every aspect of your life will be impacted by a good breath. So let's work towards that. So this is the first part. There was a second part, which is actually similar to the Krishna's flute maneuver, but I've discontinued that because it's in a way repetitive when we do the Krishna's flute maneuver, which is a little more intricate or a little more effective, a little more powerful. So since we are doing the Krishna's flute maneuver, we will jump straight into that rather than go through the other part, which was similar but not the same. In the Krishna's flute maneuver, remember the seven holes in a flute, right? Yes or no? 7 holes in a flute. When all the holes are open and when Krishna blows into his flute, what happens? The music is ethereal. The music is beautiful. Think of your breath as Krishna's breath. He is the giver of breath. So when you breathe, think of your breath as Krishna's breath and think of the 7 chakras as your 7 holes. When these are clear, and then when it is played, your life will become harmonious. You will play beautiful. Your life will become like a good harmony, like a beautiful piece of music. How do you do it? Can anybody tell me how to do the Krishna's flute maneuver with the huffing technique? Anybody? Come on, come on, come on. I think you'll know. Yes, yes, Shikavaji. You'll have to, no, you'll have to unmute.
In Krishna's flute manual, we are doing huffing, but we are constructing our chakra, base
Okay.
chakra, then Swadhisthana, then
Like a squeeze. Very good. So we do like a squeeze. The first one is a squeeze at the Mooladhara. Then you release the squeeze. Relax your belly. The second one is Mooladhara and Swadhisthana area, which is about finger widths higher. Along the spine, it'll feel as if it's about 2 finger widths higher than the Mooladhara. Then you relax again, and then once again do it. This time you include the Manipura as well. So Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. Are you familiar with these chakras? In English, these are called the base chakra, Mooladhara, the sacral chakra, the Swadhisthana, the solar plexus, your Manipura, the heart chakra, which is your Anahata, and your throat chakra, Vishuddhi. Agya, the third eye, Sahasra, the crown chakra. So when you do the squeeze, you do the first squeeze at Mooladhara. Sometimes I'll just say one. One means Mooladhara. Then I'll say 1, 2, that means Mooladhara and Swadhisthana. Just a gentle squeeze, nothing very strong, nothing very fancy, nothing of that sort. The idea, if you remember, is to squeeze whatever is there in the nadi, in the sushumna, squeeze it up so that it gets cleansed, it gets thrown out of the system. Clear?
Sir, one question. Sir, we have to squeeze one chakra at one time, right?
No. Initially, you can do one chakra at one time, but if you do, like when you do the Mooladhara, then you do Mooladhara and Swadhisthana, understand the logic. You squeeze the Mooladhara, if there is something, it has moved up. Now, if you squeeze the Swadhisthana, maybe something will move down, something will move up. So if you squeeze from the Mooladhara and the Swadhisthana, then you're pushing it upwards. Then if you squeeze the Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, it will squeeze it again upwards, because this is the passage. Whatever is there in the Sushumna, if it needs to come out, it will come out through the throat chakra. The phlegm usually comes out through the mouth or through the nose and so on. So it has to move up. And by doing this, you are helping it to move up. So anybody who does this kriya, I usually advise them to also gargle with hot water or reasonably
बहुत ही गर्म डाल दे.
garam pani mane reasonably hot water. If you like, put a tea bag there. Green tea, black tea, both are good. And add a pinch of salt. Very good to cleanse the throat. So anything that is moving up gets thrown out from the throat chakra. I have seen otherwise when people are able to work on their Sushumna and they're channeling whatever is there, whatever blockages are there in the Sushumna, when they're channeling them up the spine, sometimes it starts to get collected or it starts blocking the throat chakra. It can lead to various conditions. So ideally, gargle once a day. If the condition feels bad, if you feel a lot of constriction, a lot of difficulty with your breath, even twice a day, no problem. Right. So come, everyone do it. Please do the Krishna's flute maneuver with the squeezes on your own. Don't wait for me to guide you. I'm here to answer your questions so that you learn it. If anyone has any questions, I'll explain again. चलिए चलिए करिए करिए करने से होगा. Relax the belly. Each time you do the squeeze, relax the belly. Then again do the squeeze, relax the belly. Keep pushing it up. As you continue to do it, some of you will feel there is phlegm that's trying to come out. Yeah, Shekhawat is trying to expel some phlegm, which is very good. So I can't see everyone. I can just see maybe half a dozen of you, maybe 10 of you. So they are the ones that are showing, that I can see they're throwing some phlegm or not. Even if you're not expelling phlegm, there is another thing that's going on. Remember, your lungs are, the surface area of your lungs is equal to a tennis court, huge. So there is stale air in different parts of the lungs. Sometimes, if you've noticed, some people have very bad breath. Part of the reason is also, it can be digestion, but can also be lungs. If the lungs are, filled with toxins, there will be a foul smell. Foul smell doesn't look pleasant, doesn't feel pleasant. And if someone has it and they're aware of it, it can cause them quite a bit of discomfort. So why? Do a little bit of kriya, get it out of the way. Have fresh breath. If your breath is fresh, your health will be better as well. Once again, take a slow, full, deep breath. And go huff as you squeeze the Muladhara along the spine. Relax. 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In breath. When you do this, sometimes you might hear a certain sound, like a whistling sound, a wheezing sound. You can actually make out there is a sound coming from a certain part of your lungs. If you feel there is a sound coming from a certain area, supposing you feel it's coming from somewhere in the front right of your chest, you can actually target a squeeze in that area. Let your mind tell your body to do a little squeeze in that area. It'll help that thing to come out. It'll help to expel that. Start gently, be easy, take your time, let it happen over time. But many times when you do these kriyas, some of the participants may feel there is a little constriction or little blockage or discomfort in the throat because this stuff is moving up. This stuff is moving up, but it doesn't need to stay inside. It needs to get out. The best way to get it out, of course, are the cleansing techniques. Gargling is very effective for this. Jal neti is very good, especially for the sinuses. Do you all practice Jalneti? If not, you can learn it. It's very easy. And initially, maybe there is some discomfort if you have a sinus problem, etc. But if you do it under guidance of someone who knows, who understands, it'll be easier. There are yoga teachers, yoga gurus all over the place. I'm sure you'll find someone near you. Ask them to teach you some of these techniques. They'll help you a lot. If not, watch a few videos. Nowadays, YouTube has so many videos on all kinds of things. So watch it slowly, play it again and again, understand it well, and practice it. You'll get very good results. There is another thing called nasya, where you put certain kinds of oil in the nasal passage. So, like sarson, like this is what? Sarso. What's it called in English? Sarson ka tel? Mustard, yeah, mustard oil. Good mustard oil, which is called kachi ghani. Kachi ghani means, it's not through the solvent extraction process, but through the cold press process, in my understanding. I could be wrong. So they take it out this way. It has a better effect. It has a greater pungency. So it's supposed to be very good, especially when you're catching a cold. Now, let's jump to the second part of the Swaskosh Shuddhi Kriya. It's called the complete yogic breath. In the complete yogic breath, you will breathe in through the nose, full deep breath. Let the breath go as deep as it goes to the pelvic region if it can. If it doesn't, belly region. If it doesn't, upper part slightly higher than the belly button area, wherever your lowest portion is. Let your breath go there. Collect and build it up. Let it come up all the way up the body. So it's like lowest portion, higher, fill it up. After you fill it up, allow the exhale from the tailbone.
Pardon?
Allow the exhale, the out breath. Let the exhale happen from the tailbone. Like we were doing earlier. When we were doing the huffing technique, we were using that tailbone area to breathe out. Bring your attention to the tailbone area. Allow your out breath to move through the tailbone. Like I said earlier, the idea is to help you cleanse your sushumna. Once the sushumna starts getting cleansed, many benefits come your way. N number of benefits may not happen overnight. Depending on how well you were able to do it, how long you're able to persist with it, the results are great. Some do it, some follow the techniques, some become regular with it, and they get superb results.
But in Krishna, we are using force.
You are using a certain amount of force, not too much force.
But in a complete yogic breath, you are saying.
Yes, I'll explain. In the complete yogic breath, your first exhale is just up the spine. No need to use any pressure, no need to use any force. Just allow your out breath to move up the spine. Once that out breath has gone, full breath has gone out, with the second breath, out breath, which means you've not breathed in. You have emptied your lungs. You've waited a moment. Your blood has brought in a fresh supply of carbon dioxide laden blood and deposited in the lungs, and that is available to be exhaled. So you allow the second exhale with a squeeze at the Mooladhara. Like, no, don't do this now. For now, just allow that push up the spine. That's the first part. 5 cycles of this. Take a full deep breath. Allow that exhale up the spine. First out, relax the body. Again, the second out from the base of the spine. The reason is, since this is early in your practice, first we need to do whatever we can do to help cleanse the sushumna. Once the sushumna starts getting a little more cleansed, then we add a little more advanced techniques to it, or we add a little more sophistication to what we do, which is the Krishna's flute maneuver, which comes later. So first, take a slow, full deep breath, let it collect as low as it goes, and fill it up all the way. Advantage of complete yogic breath. It's a very powerful breath technique. If you ever catch a cold and you find your breathing is difficult, your nose feels blocked, if you do about 15 cycles of this complete yogic breath, you will be able to breathe better. The cold may not disappear. You may not be rid of the cold, but your breath will become much easier. Your breath will become smoother, easier, and that is a big advantage. When we have an issue with our breath and we're not able to breathe well, it's very uncomfortable, especially at night. I think we've all experienced that. Have we? Yes or no? Yes or no? Please
Yes.
respond. Yes,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah. So not being able to breathe is very, very unpleasant. So if this technique, just 15 breaths of this, 15 cycles of this, and at least you'll be able to sleep well because you're breathing well. So take the full deep breath, collect at the lowest portion, slowly all the way up to the shoulders or wherever you can take it up. Allow the exhale from the tailbone. Allow the first exhale. When it's all gone, relax the belly. Allow a second exhale, relax the belly. Allow a third exhale if required, add a little pressure, gentle pressure. Then a fourth, then a fifth if you can. If you can't, doesn't matter. The number of exhales you do is not important, but that you do them, that you channel the out breath up the spine, that is important. Chaliye, do it on your own. Take a full
इनहेल मत एक ही टाइम करना है, एक्सहेल को बार बार करना है.
Yes, exhale bar, just as we did in the huffing technique. Same, the basic principles remain the same through the whole program. So full deep breath, stomach relaxed. Fill it up slowly all the way up. Allow the exhale from the tailbone, let it move up along the spine. When it's all gone, relax your belly, continue to exhale. Relax the belly, continue to exhale. You may be able to do it 3 or 4 times. Last one or two, add a little pressure to push it up the spine. Why? This little gentle pressure will help to cleanse your sushumna faster. Not too much, no need for too much. Build your practice up gently, gradually over time. Feel the benefits, reap the benefits, and then continue to work with it. Once again, take a slow, full, deep breath, filling in the pelvic region, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest, all the way up to the shoulders. Allow the exhale up the spine. Keep the stomach very relaxed, even as you exhale. All gone. Relax the belly. Continue to exhale. And once again. Notice over time that your breath becomes a little subtler. Your breath becomes a little easier. Sometimes your breath will feel much lighter than it has been before. It will happen over time. Let's come to it gradually. Clear? Do it one more time. So this also 5 repetitions. Do it 5 times and then use the Krishna's flute maneuver directly. Take a slow, full, deep breath. Kariye, kariye, sab koi kariye. Please, everyone do it. Allow the exhale up the spine. Relax the belly. Continue. And again. One more time. Arunab, is it happening? Is it happening well for you?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So I inhale and I go as deep as possible. And then
Collect
I
the breath.
exhale from the tailbone.
No, one sec. First, you collect the breath. The inhale collects from the lowest portion all the way up.
Okay.
And then the exhale starts at the lowest portion, hopefully near the tailbone.
Okay.
If someone is not able to access it, if someone feels they are not getting where the tailbone is, or the exhale is not happening at the tailbone, doesn't matter. Go to wherever your lowest portion feels. Wherever your attention takes you or makes you feel is the lowest portion for the exhale, allow the exhale from there. As you continue to do this, at least some cleansing will start there. As some cleansing starts there, over time, you'll be able to go a little lower and then a little lower and then hopefully to the Muladhara as well.
So when I blow out, actually the air comes out from your nose, but like in your mind, you're going and you're cleaning that area and then the residual or stale air is coming out.
Yeah. So all you are doing basically is allowing the exhale to come up along the spine. See,
Okay.
Western understanding, like we discussed yesterday, breath comes to the lungs, comes out of the lungs, end of story, end of breath. Eastern understanding of breath is different. Hopefully, some of you have already experienced that your breath goes maybe to your belly button area. Some of you might feel that it goes, your breath goes a little lower than the belly button. Some might actually even feel that it goes to the Muladhara.
I've also
If
experienced, if I may share, that sometimes when I'm deep in meditation, when I breathe, I feel even the air is going in my legs. My entire leg is expanding and
yes,
contracting.
very good.
So it goes even deeper.
That's right. So exactly what happens is when you are in meditation, there is a great or a deep level of relaxation.
Yeah,
When there is a deep level of relaxation, your nadis, they basically dilate.
correct,
When the
correct.
nadis dilate, the flow of breath, the flow of prana goes deeper. So, as Arunabji says, sometimes he feels as if the breath is going down even to the legs. Some in certain Taoist practices, etc., they actually use breathing from the feet, from the soles
Correct,
of the feet,
correct,
drawing energy from that. We are
correct.
not going to go that way because those are different techniques. What we will do is sufficient for our purposes, and that's okay.
But it feels as if the whole body is expanding and contracting,
That is,
expanding and
yes,
contracting. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. Not so much contracting, but as if
Little
there
bit,
is a
very
certain,
subtle, very
yeah.
subtle.
So this expansion allows the breath to flow smoother, more easier, a little more lighter. It feels beautiful. The breath, when you are in a meditative state, and that easy breath feels beautiful. Sometimes you'll actually feel that you are not even breathing. The breath becomes so subtle that you might feel that there is no breath actually happening. Something is happening, but you will feel that there is nothing happening. It becomes so subtle. It's good. It's a good experience. So continue. Allow allow the breath to fill in the lowest area. Fill it up all the way up to the shoulders if you can, and then exhale from the tailbone or the lowest portion that you can access. Once you've done this 4 5 times, you are ready to jump into the powerful part, the Krishna's flute maneuver. How shall we do the Krishna's flute maneuver here? Come on, someone tell me, how shall we do it? Logic, use the same logic that we used for the huffing technique. Same thing. Come on, somebody tell me. Come on, it should be clear to you by now. Addy, come on, you're a genius. You should know. Unless you don't want to show you.
No. I like to listen. So
I know. Okay.
no.
So all you do is
Sir,
allow
I
that.
guess
जी, बोलिए,
we can
बोलिए.
start. We can
Hmm.
start exhaling by squeezing the tailbone area first.
No,
Then
no. Allow the first exhale to go. For the first exhale, don't do the squeeze.
hmm,
Let it go. Let it leave up the spine, so that it creates a passageway, an easy passageway for the next exhale. The next exhale, you will add a little squeeze. In the squeeze, there will be naturally there'll be a little bit of pressure. No problem. Allow that gentle pressure. Muladhar, Muladhar Swadhisthana, Muladhar Swadhisthana Manipura, Muladhar Swadhisthana Manipura Anahata, and then Vishuddhi. And then some can even go higher. I'm not talking about it. It's early days. Let it be for now. Come, do it. Full deep breath. Relax your belly as much as you can. Allow the exhale up the spine from the tailbone. When it's all gone, stop, relax the belly, wait a moment, continue with a gentle squeeze at the Muladhara. Relax, Muladhara Swadhisthana, then Muladhara Swadhisthana Manipura. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In breath. See, if you want to throw out any phlegm. Excuse me. container. Come on, do it everyone, once again. So 5 times, just the normal breath up the spine, 5 times, and then 5 or maybe even 10 times with the Krishna's flute maneuver. Very good for cleansing your system. If you do have a cold, for example, if you do have cold related issues, the cleansing here will be very powerful. But those who have congestion issues, for them, I will advise you must gargle. Please gargle once, maybe even twice a day. Reasonably hot water with a little bit of or a tea bag so that you get the tea effect. Add a little pinch of salt, comfortable, not too little, but enough salt, not too much, and gargle with that. Cleanse the whole system, cleanse it beautifully. When you're
second time,
बोलिए?
second time when you are exhaling with the mouth or with the nose?
No. Mouth is only for the huffing technique. I'm sorry, I should have explained this. Here, there is no use for the mouth now. We breathe in through the nose, we breathe out through the nose. The only thing is we are channeling the outflow from the tailbone area, so it moves up along the spine. Now, you will notice as you continue doing this, if you feel that your exhales are becoming a little smoother, if you feel your exhales are becoming a little subtler, it's a first sign that your sushumna is beginning to open. It's the first sign. There's a long way to go. There is a lot of work that needs to be done. Remember, 72,000 nadis. All that comes in and through the sushumna needs to be expelled through the sushumna largely. Yes, Shekhawat.
In huffing, you are using
the bows.
mouth. Second, in Krishna flute manual,
No,
we are also using mouth.
No.
Only-
Absolutely. Only for the huffing technique. Krishna's flute maneuver, no need for the mouth.
Okay. Through nostrils.
Only through nostrils. That is how you will cleanse the system.
From the nostrils.
Yeah. In the huffing technique, think of the huffing technique as the heavy duty cleansing. Heavy duty cleansing for the older stuff, the more, the more stubborn stuff that you need to expel. So you need to add a little pressure and so on and so forth. But in the complete yogic breath, it's gentler, it's easier. So the heavy lifting is done in the huffing technique. Now you come to a gentler part of the cleansing. You only channel your breath up the spine. The idea is just keep moving your breath up the spine. The more you move your breath up the spine, think of it as dredging, in a river. When a river gets blocked, if you dredge it, there are machines that dredge it, that cleanse, that clear out whatever has collected on the riverbed, etc. Once that is done, river navigation, etc., and all other aspects of the river become easier or better. Otherwise, there are chances the river might flood, or there might be difficulty for the shipping, navigation, and so on and so forth. So here, you allow this cleansing, allow this dredging to happen with the power of your breath. Come, do it one more time, everyone. Do it on your own. Notice how it goes. If there is any question, please ask me.
Very good.
Yes, Eddie.
Yeah, question relating to what we learned yesterday and today. So yesterday, when we did the huffing technique, we did first the pure huffing technique, and then the huffing technique together with the Krishna flute maneuver.
Yes.
So yesterday, even in the huffing technique, you have these two techniques, right?
Yes.
And today we are doing the complete yogic breath, where again we have these two techniques.
Exactly.
So the Krishna flute maneuver applies to both the huffing technique
It
as well
applies
as
to both.
Okay,
Precisely.
got it. Thanks.
And then what we do in our next session, it will apply to that as well.
Okay.
So now the first day is the heavy stuff, more, cleansing for the more, stubborn stuff, so to speak. Now you do a little more gentler, so that, the lighter stuff, the watery kind of phlegm, etc. That is eased out a little more effectively. And especially when you do the Krishna's flute maneuver, it just throws it out, gently moves it out of the system. Sometimes it collects in the throat area. So therefore, gargling. And then as this happens, then you come to the third day, which is when you do the Krishna's flute maneuver with the third day's practice, you will notice an immense difference in the quality of your breath. We'll come to that. Let's not jump today. So please continue doing this on your own. Observe it, work it, notice if there are any difficulties or any questions that arise in your mind. Ask me and I'll answer them. Please practice on your own.
So as you discussed just now, so to my understanding, so you do the huffing technique, and then you do the huffing technique with the Krishna's flute,
Perfect.
and then you do the yogic breath, complete yogic breath,
With the
and then
Krishna's
you do
flute.
the same thing with Krishna's flute.
Very good. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
The only difference is our yogic breath is a little modified. Normal yogic breath is you fill up the whole system and you allow the breath from the lowest portion. They don't say that it has to go up the spine, but we specify it has to go up the spine. Number one. Number two, we specify after the first breath, wait a moment, allow a second exhale. Wait a moment, allow a third exhale. So it's a little modification of the complete yogic breath. But since the complete yogic breath is the base on which it's been built, I still continue to call it the complete yogic breath. But the overall package is what is called the Swaskosh Shuddhi Kriya. The idea is to cleanse the lungs and naturally the nadis which connect with the lungs. Because sooner or later, whatever is there in the nadis is going to impact the lungs. Whatever is there in the lungs will impact the nadis. So the cleansing has to happen at both levels. So when we need to do the cleansing at both levels, instead of working with 72,000 nadis, which may be impossible to do, we have focused our attention on the Sushumna. Because the Sushumna, when you do this, think of your Sushumna acting like a vacuum cleaner. You can visualize whatever you're doing with the Sushumna as if you are using a vacuum cleaner through the Sushumna. What is the result? As you continue to do this vacuum cleaning, it continues to pull stuff out from the other nadis. It continues to pull stuff out from the other nadis. It's a very long process, but the cleansing has started. And as you go deeper, you will find that each time your Sushumna is more active, each time more nadis are flowing better, you will notice certain improvements, certain changes in some aspects of your life. You will notice that. To each one, it's going to be different. So you have to be aware how your breath is impacting you. If you watch your breath, if you make yourself intimate with your breath, you will get great benefits from your breath. Breath is a great teacher. And it's not just a great teacher, it's a great gifter. It loves to gift its goodies. It loves to shower its goodies on anybody who has the time to listen to him or listen to it. So if you can train yourself to listen to your breath, to watch your breath, to observe your breath will be, you'll be amazed at how much your breath will teach you. Whatever I share, whatever I have learned, and some of the techniques I've learned are very powerful, by the way. Some of the techniques that I share, this is, self-praise, pardon me for that, but nobody else teaches them. And see, I have not been trained under a, under a well-known system, tradition, paddhati, or whatever. It's all, I think of it all as a gift from Hanumanji. Why Hanumanji is given this gift? Like ED reversal. Hanumanji is a brahmachari. Yet he has given me the technique of ED reversal. Not because he wants, or in my understanding, not because he wants people to go overboard with sexual pleasure. He wants everyone to have access to sexual energy, because this is the most powerful energy that is there for a living being in the universe, for a living being, or for a living being like us. Let's put it this way. There may be other kinds of living beings. But there is no energy which is more powerful than the sexual energy for a living being. And therefore, this is what helps life to sustain itself. Most other creatures have no control over their sexual energy. When sexual energy flows through them, they need an outlet. To them, it's like they need a release. The same thing happens to most human beings as well. But the few who are able to get a handle on their system, get a grip over their own vasana, so to speak, and are able to control their urges and channel this energy upwards, the results will be amazing in a period, over a period of time. If we start doing this, see the logic, understand the simple logic. Kundalini, this is basically Kundalini energy. Kundalini energy is a very powerful energy. If you pass this part, like think of it as electrical energy. If you pass 400 volts of electricity through a 10 or a 50-volt bulb, it'll fuse it, it'll blow it, right? So first, the system has to be created so that this energy can pass without causing a blowout, which is as you do your sushumna, cleansing of the sushumna, etc. Now your body is able to handle a greater movement of energy. Then once this energy is available to you, depending on where it goes, if it goes to the Swadhisthana, it will express itself as sexual energy. Nothing wrong with that. It's a powerful expression. But if you waste it all there, then you are the loser, because it is capable of so much more. So think of your electrical meter at home. Let's say it has the ability to send a certain amount of power, and all that power is used up by 2 air conditioners. You will have no power left for the third air conditioner or for a third equipment or something heavier. If you try to do it, there'll be a blowout. So think of it just in simple terms. As your energy moves to the Swadhisthana and you are able to control it, or control is a very bad word, I don't like to use the word control, but if that awareness has grown and you're not dependent on that few minutes of pleasure to find whatever bliss you need, then you can channel this energy upwards towards the Manipura, towards the Anahata, towards the Vishuddhi. Every time you raise it, some subtle shift will happen in your life. How do you know there is a subtle shift happening? Your interests will change, your hobbies will change. Whatever was drawing your attention earlier will stop pulling you. Something else is drawing your attention because your energy is going there. As your energy starts to move there, naturally you'll be able to pick out some gems, you'll be able to mine something beautiful and then share. So creativity can increase, a person's ability to love widely can increase. So many changes happen, many beautiful changes happen. But first, a certain amount of awareness and a certain ability to restrain oneself, gently restrain yourself, not fighting, not pushing yourself, because then it will create other difficulties. Then it will create other imbalances in the system. We don't want that. But if you're able to do it gently, move it up, take your time, keep moving it up gently, a little more, you'll find it's begun to impact your life in a very, very powerful and beautiful way. So this is what Kundalini energy is about. But if this energy is not even available, first thing that happens is most people, young men, sometimes very young men, and definitely middle age, they start losing the energy, for example, for an erection. Women start losing their arousal. Their sex becomes painful for them, for instance. There is dryness, there are pelvic floor issues, pelvic floor dysfunction, and so on. There are issues connected with that. If you're able to move, if this energy is accessible, if it's available to you, and you're able to move it up, now you start making an impact socially. You will do things, for a greater society in your own way. But there is a negative side. When somebody starts using this energy for social benefit, sometimes the ego comes up, and then the ego wants a pound of flesh. Then there are other issues connected with that. I'm sorry, Aditya, if I digressed a little, but yes, yeah, I understand. Thank you. Catch you tomorrow. Yeah. So this is what you do with your energy, and see, each chakra is a chetna, level of chetna. As you move your energy up the spine, it is able to reach different levels of chakras, different levels of chetna. That's it. That's all there is to it. So when you are young, you have a lot of energy, but less chetna. So if that energy is moved to the higher and higher and higher levels of chetna, you will be able to accomplish so much more because your energy is so good then. But we continue to deplete that energy. And by the time we are in our 30s, 40s, 50s, so mostly it's gone. Then we become like empty vessels. This is the time, 40s, 50s, when men start looking around. They start looking around outside marriage, for example, because for some reason they feel at home that the conditions at home are not amenable for this energy. So they want confirmation outside. I've shared articles about this, why men stray, shared articles and videos. Anyway, let this be. So let's get back to our Swaskosh Shuddhi Kriya. As you take that full deep breath, allow the exhale up the spine with the gentle Krishna's flute maneuver, the gentle squeezes. Muladhar, 1, 2, Muladhar and Swadhisthana, 1, 2, 3, Muladhar, Swadhisthana, Manipura. Move this. Come on, everyone, do it on your own. If you have any questions, please ask me. But please practice. I'll mute everybody once again. If anybody wishes to speak, please do so. But please do the practice. I wish everybody would keep the videos on so I would know what you are doing. Otherwise, you could be playing on your phone, and I think you are listening here, taking advantage of this course. Yes, thank you, Shikavaji. Thank you so much. Yeah, continue to work your breath. MK Sami ji, आपका phlegm निकल रहा? You're throwing out some phlegm?
Yes, some phlegm is.
Okay, very good. Gaurav Biswas, are you throwing out some phlegm as well?
But I am not able to push my solar about that.
करते रहिए. आपने कल भी बोला था, but you have to continue doing the practice.
But not solar plexus and Manipura.
धीरे करते करते आ जाएगा.
Okay.
When we stop using something, it starts becoming dysfunctional or unusable. As we start working on that, sometimes it can come back. I trust yours will come back because at least your Muladhar and Swadhisthana are active. You're able to access. So, ऊपर भी आएगा. What about the others? आपका सबका हो रहा है breath work अच्छे से? Anybody, any questions? Yes, please, Kinkar ji. Go on, Kinkar.
So basically, I am doing an inhalation. Then I'm just exhaling in 2-3 installments.
Yes.
Like first from the base of the body, that is tailbone.
All
then
the
I'm holding
exhales
it for 2 seconds.
No, all the exhales are from the base, from the tailbone. But in the Krishna's flute maneuver, you will do a little squeezing at the tailbone. Then the tailbone and the Swadhisthana. Then the tailbone, Swadhisthana, Manipura. Because like you milk a cow, you are milking your Sushumna in the reverse. You are milking it upwards. You are making whatever is there to move up so that it can be thrown out. When it's cleared from the system, your system will function better.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Any questions? I hope everyone is doing it well. कोई प्रश्न, कोई परेशानी नहीं हो रही है किसी को? लैंग्वेज में यदि प्रॉब्लम है तो आप मेरे को बोलेंगे तो मैं दूसरे हिंदी में भी थोड़ा समझाऊंगा.
सर मुझे हिंदी में बोल दीजिए एक बार.
कौन सी बात बताऊं? पूरा
आज
का पूरा?
ना
वो तो बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा. वो तो बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा.
पूरा नहीं सर, पूरा नहीं. आज मतलब हम ना इंग्लिश पूरा समझते नहीं ज्यादा. कल का हम पूरा समझ गए थे. कल का जो क्रिया बताया थे हम थोड़ा समझ गए थे, लेकिन आज का जो हम तो थोड़ा सा लेट से स्टार्ट किए. देन आज का वो जो बोल रहे हैं वो कैसे करना है स्टार्टिंग एक बार बोल दीजिए ना सर.
तो आपके मंडल जी है साथ में, नयन जी. नयन जी will explain this to you a little more. नहीं तो और समय लगेगा ना. बट बेसिक चीज है. बेसिक भी बताना चाहूंगा तो समय लगेगा.
हाँ सर,
समय
हाँ
लग
सर।
जाएगा, फिर काफी टाइम लग जाएगा। वैसे नयन जी से मेरी बात हुई है, देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ स्पेशल कोर्स फॉर द S-VYASA स्टूडेंट्स, स्पेशली द YIC स्टूडेंट्स। आई थिंक नयन जी आप बताएंगे क्या, क्या आपका प्लान है गौरव जी को? मिस्टर नयन मंडल? नहीं, maybe he's not there. Doesn't matter. Friday, Saturday, Sunday 3 दिन का वो ऑनलाइन कोर्स करेंगे फॉर S-VYASA स्टूडेंट्स। तो आप उसमें ज्वाइन करिएगा विश्वास जी।
हाँ हाँ, अब
एकदम सर।
हाँ बोलिए नयन जी।
नहीं जी, आप किसी को भी आप भेज सकते हैं, कोई भी ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं, नो प्रॉब्लम। मैं भी और भी जगह पे लिंक भेजूंगा ना।
जी जी जी, कोई भी ज्वाइन कर सकता है, बट इट्स
पिछले का जो
टारगेटिंग,
बैच है, हाँ
बट इट्स टारगेटिंग द स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ S-VYASA। वेरी गुड।
हाँ।
तो आप इसमें ज्वाइन करिएगा, अभी कुछ ही दिन में शुरू होने वाला है, फ्राइडे, सैटरडे, संडे। क्या क्या तारीख थी? 18, 19, 20 नहीं, 20, 21, 22 ना? 20, 21, 22। ठीक है गौरव जी?
हाँ सर, थैंक यू।
ओके, एनीवन एल्स? और कुछ भी प्रश्न, एनी डाउट? नहीं? तो शैल वी एंड फॉर टुडे? 7:30 तो बज गए। शैल वी एंड फॉर टुडे? थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड आई विल सी यू टुमारो। कल वाला सेशन भी समय से ज्वाइन करिएगा, बहुत अच्छा होगा एंड एक नया पर्सपेक्टिव मिलेगा, लाभ मिलेगा। धन्यवाद। राम राम। राम राम। सी यू टुमारो।
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
थैंक यू।
ओम शांति।
ओम शांति। ओम ओम। थैंक यू दीपाशी जी। ओम।